then next thing I'm going to be moving on to is I'm going to start working on about 30 or 40 oaks that were all dug up at Aveland Nurseries. I know you've already got a bit of my face, but I've always said that's better. These were dug up two years ago, I think, maybe 3 years ago actually. And I haven't had a chance to look and see what the roots are like, and I know in those days I was still doing a bit of dodgy mixed cheap soil. So I've discovered, as you know, for a few of my trees that those who've had poor soil, the roots have been really struggling. So I'm going to pull them all out and see what we've got. But yeah, I mean, potentially that's got the makings of a cracking tree. I don't know how well you can see it there, but this is one of the ones I say at the nursery, when he finishes the season, all the small runty ones and the ones that are odd shapes that won't be suitable for hedging or for different community projects, he pulls out and throws to one side. I mean, this is probably sitting on the side of the ground for a couple of weeks before I got to it. So some of these I just pick up. It's got healthy buds. Certainly budded out last year. Did a little bit of work on it, but that has got such a beautiful shape, and I've just really got to decide. I don't have to decide anything. I just want to look in the pots and the roots, see what we've got there. So it's not tied in. It's not falling out, so that suggests we've at least got something. Notice this is my karma, or it's a very blunt karma. But anyone who's got blunt karma is me using these things. It's a karma, it's a bladed knife, isn't it? I suppose I could use that as a karma, but that wouldn't be good karma either, I don't think. But I think that is the only official bonsai cutting tool or knife that I've actually got. The rest of them are all sort of ad hoc, however they come out. Yeah, I think I can use that pot for something else. Let's have a look. Oh, where are we now in our thing? I think at the moment the last video that I put up was, who knows, I may not put this one out next, but for me, the last video I just uploaded was my incredible impression of Sam Doecke. I said your name wrong, I'm very sorry. And I did promise I'd never try that again, and I won't. But I can't help the fact that there is perhaps just a little slight tang of Australian in my accent, and that's only because my parents forced me to live there while I was growing up. So I was educated out there, if that's the right word. For any Australians, I'm sorry. But no, I had a great education out there, and lived in Brighton, in Melbourne, Brighton Beach. Went to Hampton after that, and then in my secondary school I was out at Upway, which is out near Country Gully, the home of, or Belgrave, Alinda, and the home of Puffing Billy. Gee, that's incredible, that is. But yeah, so that's why occasionally, normally when I get drunk, I have a bit of a twang in some of my words. Yeah, that's got a nice root base on it, which is what I was hoping. It's just the downward one there, which I don't want. So looking at that, I think Nige would be going, that's Nige-tastic. That is definitely Nige-tastic roots. We don't want that up one. Let's probably watch them all come up. That's alright. Got another one there. Look at that. I am really happy with that, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of ugliness on this trunk, but it is an oak. And oaks aren't exactly renowned for sort of maple-like grace. They're, dare I say the word, I call them masculine trees. They're definitely a masculine tree. Which is not to say if you didn't want to be a feminine tree it couldn't. I'm sure I can turn anything into feminine if I try really hard. Maybe that's my challenge, to take something masculine and make it feminine. Or maybe we shouldn't go there. So roots underneath that coming from there, which means I may well get rid of this. Don't know. I will shorten it, that's for sure. Don't want that one, it's going the wrong direction. Got something underneath, so I'll get rid of that. clip them back. Now if I got something growing under there, some roots under there, there is definitely some root. I'm wondering whether that's too high. Too like that spread. I'm just, nah, choice. Cost me nothing. Let's get rid of it. There we go. All that would happen is each year I'd have wondered and eventually done it, and as you learn, if you make those sort of decisions early, they are sort of do or die, but that, much nicer. Okay, so we'll just do a little bit of, see where they're all coming from. That's going. I love oaks as nearly as much as I like larch. That could go actually, that could probably go. Because they're really forgiving. Right, let's get a pot for that. I've got this one. I don't want to put it into a super big one because how big I want. It'd be nice to get a nice denser set of roots in there. Yeah, I reckon I can fit that in there. I'm going to try wire it. There's actually a little spur just here. And I'm not sure, I might be able to catch the wire over it, so I will try. Quite a stony sort of inorganic soil as well, so alright. What I don't want to do is end up cutting those few remaining roots that I've got. Oh, I've got a big bumblebee right round me. They do like it around here. Keep it tight to the trunk. Literally bite it in. Okay, and all I've done is it is a bit of a dead bit of the root base. I mean, it could be part of root flare in the future, but if that gives me a bit of security right now, I'll sacrifice for that. I'm sure there are better and prettier ways of doing it, not least the good old-fashioned bury it with rocks, but what I'm doing now is just spacing some of these roots out. I've allowed them dry out a bit because I've left my little water spraying bottle at the top end, which is criminal. Oh. As I say, I mean, when I do my dig, I normally bring back 30 or 40 oaks. You know, I'm used to the fact that I don't get 100% success. But it's worth it for the ones that do work, because the ones that do come out are absolutely glorious. So, I mean, if you look at that, that's a horrible knobble. But it is from a branch that's been cut off. That would have been lovely with that, if that went up like that. But all I need to do is that, when this is all nice and healthy, there's already a collar. I can see a little collar. In fact, you can see it there. Just there. There's an indentation, circular one, goes around that knobble. And that's a collar, so that's where the plant is healed around the site of the wound. So everything after that is dead. So I can actually quite easily nibble or drill away or saw that flat. So I'm not overly worried by that. Lots of buds coming through. 3, I may well actually just go for a nice broom. So what I'm going to do now is cut back to 1, 2. Oh, hang on, let's think about, yeah, I don't want it to go out too much, so I want it to go this way. So for now, we're just going to a bit away. That's cause a collar, so we'll get that up there. This is a longer branch than I'd want. There's a bud here. I mean, oaks bud very well, but what we will stop it doing is going any further in the direction I don't want. Same with that. Okay. And that, I think that, we'll see. Who knows? I'll show it to you later in the year and see how it comes out. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Okay, now what have we got? Oh, goodness knows how these. A lot of these videos are probably going to be. That's nice. Oh, I like that. That needs to go into a proper pot, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Look at that. Oh, it's got so much potential. That's good. That tells me we've got good root growth in there. I'll tell you what is a good thing, that oaks are later at budding out, because with the amount I've got, if I had to do these the same time I had to do my larches, maples and everything else, I'd never get anything done. Well, something would definitely suffer. Close to being excited about this one, I think. And all that took, look at that, nice roots under there. All that took was a bit of digging in a very cold late November when it's chucking it down with rain. That's all it took. Oh, and then being outside doing all the repotting of them in some basic soil. That, what a reward that is. Look, oh. Now I've got some decisions to make on roots, which I can now make, seeing what's growing. Whoa! Don't, I give up. We're getting near the end of filming. I'd imagine the sound you're getting is atrocious. I can see why I struggled to know what to do with it last time. See, I'm almost going to just basically cut it back. Okay. That's a nice set there. Because underneath that, there is something underneath it. Just like that. Probably don't need that. Got something that's got a curly whirly. Technical term. That's what's growing down. Nice. Oh, that is so nice. Okay, let's find a pot for this. Find a pot. Right, actually, before it goes in the pot, let's just get rid of some of this. Okay. And again, I know I'm not saying anything, but when I'm pruning back, I'm literally looking for anywhere there's more than two, cutting down to just two, and just looking to see that when whatever shoots come out, they're going to go out, have free space to go to. Where's the front? That's coming. That could be beautiful back. If that's the front there. I'm wondering whether that's almost too low. But part of me is seriously considering taking this off. Take that whole bit off. Just have it at this height. Let's start the process. Oh dear, I'm not sure about that after all. Let's do it. Let's do it. It may be I'll end up losing that one actually. Yep, that'll do. Okay. That's what I love about bonsai. Whatever you think you're going to do, you always end up doing something different. Let's get those roots. Lovely. What we're going to put you in. You've got potential actually. Do you go into a pot? What have I got? Alright, decision made. Pot's too big for it, but round means I can play around with where the front's going to be. It's probably a waste of a pot, but to be fair, I don't really like the round pots for finished trees. So I make use of the fact that I've got all that space underneath, under the lip there, so it's a pot belly, which is going to be a problem at a later stage, obviously, trying to get the thing out. But hopefully what I'll get is a nice thick development of roots, while still keeping it this sort of size. And that's the other reason for not putting it back into that bigger plastic pot. It's nice secure in there, it's not tied down, so yeah. Watch that one with interest. That one may be a keeper. It's got a bit of interest about it. Right, what's the next one we're going to look at? Oh, this. Again, that looks like it's got a really nice base. Obviously that's a split root structure there, but I mean, that is going to be gorgeous. We've got 3 coming out of that base, so I've got to make a decision whether I sort of treat it as a clumpy sort of style coming from there or not. But wow, that's a cracking tree. That's probably going to be one I'll keep, and you'll see develop. So let's see what we've got. This is where it just falls out, the roots, there's no roots, but no. And that's often what I'll do with a plant pot. I mean, it's not rocket science, but that was a much taller one. I'll just cut them in half. Obviously health and safety, don't cut yourself on those, and I have done that. But yeah, so I keep things like that. Let's have a look and see. Certainly the roots like it. Ah, a rock. That normally means I was trying to do something. Nice roots. Ooh, lovely roots. Soil's dry. Well, when I say dry, I mean you've got the roots. You've got that nice browny sort of look to them, rather than that sick sort of, anemic's probably the wrong word. By the way, when you see these white roots, they're not tree roots, they're roots from weeds. I used to think they were roots for the tree. Oh, and I have to do a big thank you to my daughter Katerina. For those of you who are watching and see who writes comments, you'll notice that one of my 4 children, and they all do have a look and they at least put likes on, she's actually the one who's watching them all and actually asking pretty decent questions, which is good. So thank you, Katerina. Now there is what I call a nice mat of roots. Have that. I mean, it is chaotic, it is a bit of a mess. I might end up taking away what looks to be the better roots, but it's poking up in the air. I'm going to put your eye out. Got that coming there, I might keep that. We've got those, the base there. Don't like it actually, we'll get rid of that. But underneath, we've got these 2. The base, I love circular, that's going across from there. It's going inwards, don't want that in there. Something shorten that one. So that it's going to be a mat of roots there. It may be that if I can get it to work right, that could be a whole root clump that just gets more and more solid. That's based on that. Okay. In the end, I've actually gone for a pretty dirty, hacky, but bonsai pot itself rather than a training one, because I've got a funny feeling this one is going to be kept. So it's one of those ones with a single hole. So I've done the usual where I put a bar across the base, so it's a bridge, and then I'm going to be able to hopefully secure it through that gap there. I say hopefully because, oh, there it is. Right, there's a root coming upwards. So I'm going to put it over that. Okay, and try to untangle most of these roots because I want them. Okay. And scratch the bark. Put a bit of soil under there. Just want to lift that up a bit. And again, I mean, this won't be the final pot for this one by any means. It does stay in my collection, but it will be in this for 3 years. So let's go back to the wiring. That's in there. The roots. Okay. I have a feeling that this is a tree quite a few budding enthusiasts would quite like to develop, because this is even for me. I looked at, if I saw this in a bonsai nursery, and I'm not saying I got it, but for just raw stock to work from, I'd be looking at this one definitely, because of the way the branches are. And I didn't do this on purpose. When I hacked it about when I first got it, it was just to get it into the bag to transport it in. But you've got a number of different options you can go with this one, and you don't necessarily have to make your decisions straight away either, which I think makes it even more interesting and, if I'm honest, potentially valuable. So and all I'm going to do now is just do some real basic pruning on it, get rid of nubs, clean it up. Obviously, if you think about it, you would never have this coming over that. If I'm going to keep that branch, which I may do, there's 1, 2, so you want to try and get some stuff coming out lower down on it. Okay, take it right back. That terminal tips off. There we go. So So all I'm really looking at here is what I want to do is just avoid the obvious problems with inverse taper developing. So we've got clumps here, we've got a clump of 5 here, needs to be sorted out. So it's not really, I'm not really planning where the tree's going with this. Got a 3 up here. So probably having an idea of where I would have my front. It's going to be somewhere in here, probably, maybe. So I wouldn't want that one. Okay. And again, this one, the height isn't going to be any bigger than this, so that's why I'm taking the terminals off. Get that coming out there. Don't want anything growing in there. There. Wasn't for the fact that line continues straight, I'd consider keeping that, but I want to have something to the foreground here, so it looks like actually that can get wired out. Probably going to remove that one. Actually, that's lower down. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's going to. No, let's just cut it back for now. And let's just see how it develops. That's not going to be an issue straight. And I'm cutting just above. I mean, with oaks, if you looked at them, there's lots of little bud points you can see here. So I'm not worried particularly. So hopefully that's sorted that out, and that. Yeah, a bit messy here. I mean, depends how, whether I'm able to clean that out in there so that we don't get what looks like quite a messy, yeah. Anyway, yeah, really happy with that. Really happy with that. Hopefully we'll see that one again. Back to the afternoon. Bet you're pleased about that. Big hello to Sam in Oz. Thank you so much for replying to my to my video. Nowhere near as good as your stuff. At least you know what you're doing. But it always makes people feel good when they get a reply, so thanks for that, mate. And I've come out to find out that the greenhouse panels have been blown out by the wind. And it's not the wind coming out of my mouth, that's for sure. But so I'll have to fix that. Yeah, this one, right in the early days when I was looking to try and find pots, I tried all sorts of different things, and this is what they call Tuffa. It ain't Tuffa, it falls to pieces really easily. Although this one's chipped off here, but it's just, I don't know, it's I don't know what it is, but anyway, it's been in this for a good few years, so it's coming out because that's too big and it's going to break anyway. So these Tuffas were okay to begin with, but too many of them break. The frost does for them basically. Yeah. And this is definitely older. Soil's not that bad actually. Hard to say. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to have these pots anymore. You know, when you put stuff in a pot, you want to feel certain that it ain't, yeah, it just crumbles. Some white balls on this. This one is definitely, mind you, it's got healthy buds. So it could be that it just needs to start again, I don't know. Ooh, nah, not convinced there's a lot there, to be honest. Not convinced at all. There's a lot of white on the end of the roots. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's right across the base of all of them. I'm not sure what that is. I'll give the roots a wash out. Well, the root. Get rid of that great heavy thing, because I think this is I don't think this one's going to make it much longer, so get rid of that. Yeah, very brittle. Shame it's got a lovely spread on it, but who knows? You never know with oaks. They're tough old beggars. So get that washed down and see what comes of it. Yeah, it's weird. I just don't know what that white stuff is. I don't know. Maybe it's white stuff. Who knows? Right. Well, I'll never throw anything away. So let's take some tips off. Okay. And this is when something like this is ideal. Oh, mind you, not big enough. So I'm going to cut back further. More soil. At a potting angle, I have a funny feeling this ain't going to make it, so I mean, normally for me, these have all been done around the same time in the same soil batches. Methods have all been the same. So if for some reason one of them just looks completely different from the others or has a condition, that's when I say pretty fatal. You know. Although, say the bud ends look pretty good. This will be one where I'll put a note not to prune it. Let it really go to town if it does actually put growth out. Maybe that whatever has been affecting it, with a change of soil, left alone may actually work out alright for it. I don't know. Yeah, so if it works out well, this could be a nice, another nice looking tree. Definitely, I think I'd be happy with that. So, give that a watering in and leave it in the bottom of the garden like they leave me.